Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim or Simnanya, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. So, we'll be talking something very important, and it's about this, mostly Latinos trying to improve their race by cross breeding, probably wanting pop colored people in order to improve their race. And then they hide the black aspect of them and all that. Some of them do not want to do anything with black people because they feel like if they go black, I mean, they are still in the same place. So the better way to live out of their space or, to improve whatever is by going for palm colored people because they have met, like they've been told or they've been told that the beauty standard is. But then I keep asking you, who actually made this beauty standard? How do people tell you that I mean, this is the beauty standard when I don't care what I am the beauty standard. I don't care what anybody or anyone says, right? Because if I am not the beauty standard, you all will not be paying a whole lot of money to tan your skin and take capsules and all that to look like me. And I see a lot of them, they know how beautiful black people are. I see some of them also trying to crossbreed, especially when it comes to black, because they know how beautiful black people are when they mix with. But some of them are looking for, you know what? Let's get into this video.
My entire family tree, there is no black people in it. Zero. And it's okay. Nobody should be obligated to mix with anybody. However, in my family, there's plenty of white people in it because it's been very common for indigenous people to want to marry white people, to mejorar la raza, to whiten our next generation. No one should be obligated to marry black people. It's okay. But the fact that there is absolutely no black person, not one of my aunts, uncles, grandparents, is married to a black person. Not one, but many of them are married to white people and have light-skinned children. So what are we going to say? What is our reasons for this to be the norm? The common Mexican family as a structure contained no black people. It just didn't. It was just indigenous and white. That's it.
If you get with the indigenous, will it be more okay? Or?
If I got with an indigenous woman who was predominantly indigenous features, it's almost the same thing.
Wow. You just killed me that. No.
It's almost the same thing. It's almost the same thing because that's not the goal here in heading into a new generation. Our goal is not to stay the same. It's to improve. It's to better our next generation. So a lot of times when we marry, white women, you got it. You're going the right way.
Has triunfado. En España se dice.
Has triunfado, sí. Sí, exactamente.
Wow.
Yeah, of course, because more than likely, our children are going to be now light-skinned. Hopefully, they'll got some little blue eyes or green eyes or something like that. And if they do, we have created a very beautiful family now.
Wow.
Why? The answer is actually quite simple. In one aspect, survival, absolutely. But also, aside from the survival, is because we have been taught that indigeneity, our complexion, our phenotype, everything about us is inferior. Everything. Even our native languages, everything about us, our being is inferior. This is a doctrine that has been forced on us by the Spanish conquerors, and we have been now practicing these ideologies of feeling as inferior, meanwhile looking at the conqueror as the superior race of people, because these are ideologies that they have forced onto us, and we have now been practicing and passing down generation after generation. It's obvious where the mejorar la raza phrase comes from, because of course we are improving our race by getting with white people and whitening our race. Of course. Well, why not? It's common sense because they are the superior people. We are the inferior. So how can we make sure that our next generation is not as inferior as us? Well, of course, let's have children with the superior people. It's pretty logical here. You're asking me, why haven't indigenous people realized that this is wrong? Well, when I was a little kid, probably 4 years old, and one of my cousins was born light-skinned. Mi abuela, my grandmother, said, "Ay, mira qué bonito como un angelito. Oh, look how beautiful like an angel." You see, I was born into the normalization of white superiority being the standard of beauty, etc. If I'm born into an already culture that claims that the standard of beauty is white and superiority is white, how can I be expected to ever even say it's wrong? Because obviously it comes from the colonizer, of course. But if this is something that has been ongoing way before I was born, way before my mother, grandparents were, this is something that has a history. If this has been now normalized, we've never had the opportunity to question it. If the entire people view things this way, why should we question what is normal? If everybody says that white people are better, who am I to question it if the whole world says so? If our entire surrounding says so? I mean, every time they show beautiful people on TV, what are they? And what happened? Right. So how can I even convince myself that I'm beautiful or anything of that nature comparing to white people if not only this is something that has been passed down, but it is proven that this is so? Because we turn on the TV and everything that is attractive, beautiful, superior, well-behaved, well-spoken, elegant, classy, everything is white. And everything that's depicted as opposite of all these great things is non-white. So it is a fact that white people are better. Although it's not. But you see how it's been proven due to propaganda and programming. How can we even start questioning something that we've been convinced is true?
Your ancestors were convinced as well. So yeah, it's hard to understand where you're coming from. This is what I'm trying to teach my kids right now.
How can you convince a black person in Dominican Republic to not be in love with his green eyes, feel proud of his green eyes? How could you convince him to not desire to have children and hope that his children also come out with green eyes?
Wow.
Because you do realize that a lot of us indigenous and African descending people in the Americas, we are proud when we have Eurocentric features. You do realize that.
Yeah.
So because we are so proud of these features, these are the features that our own people and even white people look at us and tell us, wow, you have beautiful eyes. Only when we have Eurocentric features. It's Eurocentric features are what cause white folks, but also our own folks, to compliment, find beauty in our features. So why wouldn't we want to pass down that Eurocentric feature to our children? Why wouldn't we want our children to be light-skinned, to have straight hair, as black people in this case? Let's say a black person with straight hair, why wouldn't he want to have children with also a woman with straight hair? Because if he finds, as a black man with straight hair, if he finds a woman with also curly hair, what if my kids come out with curly hair? I'm not going to curse my children like that. I'm also going to try to find a woman with green eyes too, because it's going to guarantee my children to also have green eyes like me.
And it makes sense now, because they actually want to look like they are.
If I were still living in Mexico and I fell a victim to the internal racism mentality that we commonly have, and I grew up as a kid being made fun of because I'm darker than the white people of Mexico, if I was made fun of because I speak Nahuatl and not Spanish as a first language, then when it's time for me to have children, would I want to also see my children suffer like me? Or do I want to make an effort to make sure they don't suffer like me? Well, how do I go about that? Oh, well, let me have children with the white person, so hopefully my children will not come out looking like this. And I'm also not going to teach them to speak Mixteco, Zapoteco, Nahuatl. I'm going to teach them Spanish only. So this is why mejorar la raza is very powerful. Because you see, of course, we're improving the race. Because our next generation is not going to be made fun of for looking like an Indio, for speaking our inferior languages. This is why mejorar la raza makes sense. because we are improving it in a society that is colorist and racist.
I mean, there are so many things to deconstruct. I just do not understand how somebody would think that mixing race, like, okay, like, we want to improve our race by cross, like, breeding or something like that. I mean, I think it's time. I don't know how we are going to do this or how to educate some people, how to make people understand that. Because how do you tell somebody that does not like himself that you are handsome or you are beautiful in your own skin? But the world has made it look, I mean, like it's the beauty standard is white, right? Or and the ugly standard, according to them, is the other color. But it's quite unfortunate that you all are still going around looking for a way to tan. The people that are telling you that they are the beauty standard are going out getting tan, paying a lot of money to take supplements to look tan, look darker, and all that, like a black person. See, there is a video that I saw this afternoon. I did not bring it here because there are kids there, and it's a palm colored kids, not so kid. Like they were already like should be like 7, 8 years. Saw a black baby. Guess what they said? This is a special breed of a special, a special. No, this is a special breed of animal. That is a black child. Is kind of a different species of animal. And how did that kind of child see somebody that has head, eyes everywhere, walk and all that? How did they see a child as animal? Make this make sense. Because I do not understand how a child will say something like that. You are seeing human being and you are saying that is animal. I mean, this baby is very beautiful, cutie baby with beautiful hair, like, well done and all that. And that also reminds me that racism is being taught. Yeah, because I don't know how that child we think of something like that and speak it and say it. So I don't know where to start from, because how do I tell someone that does not like himself that you are beautiful in your skin, you look gorgeous, you have melanin, and all? How do I explain that? Because you do not love yourself. How do people think by crossbreeding or getting a white person or getting someone to crossbreed makes you beautiful? Because you have already been taught that you are not beautiful in your own skin. You have been taught that black is ugly. You already internalize it that you are ugly, you are not worthy. Because I see a lot of people saying that I don't want my kids to suffer what I went through, right? So for that reason, they go to marry someone else to improve their own this thing, and then ended up in, because crossbreeding sometimes comes with so many challenges. Sometimes it is your white part that do not want to see you because they are rich disease, or you are not white enough and you are not hot enough and you are not cold enough, and then confusion starts, and then you are dangling looking for a way to be accepted. Man, I really don't know how to explain this, but I think it's time we start unlearning and relearning. Because how do I tell a full-grown adult that you are beautiful in your own skin? I mean, I cannot trade my skin for anything. That is something that I know so good. I know that a lot of people probably might have, like, done some certain things because they were told, like, I remember there are some places that if you are not light skinned enough, you are not getting a job. If you do not look a certain way, you are not, like, we really do need to unlearn, because colorism and all that is killing our community. A lot of people are using chemicals because they want to be accepted in the society. And who really made this beauty standard? See, I am the beauty standard. I don't care what anybody got to say. We are the beauty standard, because if we are not the beauty standard, why are they looking for a way to augment their boobs, augment their butts, augment this, augment that, their lips? And you are telling me that I am not the beauty standard. This, can't you see the full lips? Is it not lipping? Of course it is lipping. They are paying a lot of money, but they want to confuse us that we are not the real deal. Well, we are the real deal. That's all I got to say for now. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.